Hello and welcome. If you're considering an MBA or a master's degree in business studies, such as in finance, marketing, or other related fields, you're likely to decide between taking the GMAT or the GRE. In this video, we'll be discussing the key differences between the two programs, answering the question which test might be easier for you, and which of the two tests do B schools prefer. Finally, we'll give you a 5-step process to decide which exam you should write. So let's start with a high-level comparison. Let's take a look at the fundamental differences between the GMAT and the GRE. The GMAT is designed specifically for B school admissions and hence has an extremely high correlation with success at a B school, whereas the GRE is much more general, suitable for a wide range of graduate programs. The GRE boasts absolutely no correlation or predictability with your performance at a business school. The GRE costs less and is the shorter of the two tests. And while both exams are computer adaptive, the GMAT is question adaptive, which means that the difficulty level of questions served to you at any point on the test would depend on how you've answered questions till that point. The GRE, on the other hand, is section adaptive. This means that within a section, everyone gets the same set of questions on the GRE, and the next section depends on how you did on the prior section. This is why the GRE also offers greater flexibility to review and change answers and even to attempt questions within a section. Now, while both tests include quant and verbal sections, the overall structure of tests is quite different. The GRE, being section adaptive, includes 2 quant and 2 verbal sections, whereas the GMAT has just 1 quant and 1 verbal section. In addition, the GMAT includes a unique section called Data Insights, whereas the GRE includes a section called AWA. Now let's discuss which test might be easier for you. And this depends on your strengths as well as your weaknesses. Let's start with the verbal section. On the verbal section, the GMAT focuses more on critical reasoning and reading skills, whereas the GRE places a greater emphasis on vocabulary through text completion and sentence equivalence questions, and on reading comprehension. On the quant side of things, the GMAT quant tests problem solving in arithmetic and algebra. However, the GRE quant contains quantitative comparison, problem solving, and data interpretation questions. Having said that, on an overall level, the GRE quant section is relatively easier than the GMAT quant section, and it even allows the use of a calculator, something that's not allowed on the GMAT. Now let's discuss the third brand new section on the GMAT called the Data Insights section. This section, introduced in 2024 as a formal part of the 800 score on the GMAT, tests you on data sufficiency, graphics interpretation, data analysis, table analysis, two-part analysis, and multi-source reasoning. This section is question adaptive and is a lot more detailed and complex than the data interpretation questions that are served on the quant section of the GRE. Now let's talk about GRE's analytical writing section. In this section, you're provided with 30 minutes to write an argumentative essay describing to what extent you agree or disagree with an issue. While you don't need a perfect score on this section because this section is scored independently, strong writing skills can definitely boost your application. So, from a skill standpoint, if you're strong in vocabulary, reading, and argumentative writing, but weak in quant, the GRE might be easier for you. But if you're better at critical thinking, problem solving, and data insights, the GMAT might be a better fit. Now, this is purely from the standpoint of your test-taking ability. Next, let's understand what is it that B schools prefer. Now, on paper, most B schools accept both the GRE and the GMAT, but from what we understand, more and more B schools prefer the GMAT over the GRE because of its predictability. In fact, more than 70% of MBA applicants submit their GMAT scores till date. Let's understand why. This is because the GMAT is designed specifically to assess readiness for B school education. Business schools are a lot more comfortable interpreting GMAT scores, which they believe will better predict your success in their program. This is one of the other reasons why a great GMAT score can help you win an attractive scholarship, if not a full ride. Not only that, across top post-business school occupations such as consulting, financial services, tech, many companies look at your GPA as well as your GMAT scores as a part of their hiring process. Therefore, if you're looking to do an MBA and intend to go into consulting, corporate strategy, corporate finance, corporate marketing, or product marketing roles, having a GMAT score may give you a slight edge over having a GRE score. So with that, let's come to a 5-step process to decide which exam you should take. Now, the first thing you've got to decide is, are you applying for an MBA degree or a Master's in Management degree in Business Studies? If you're targeting either one of these, then a GMAT score may be preferable over a GRE. Now, if the school that you're aiming for accepts both the GMAT and the GRE, I recommend that you take a diagnostic test to determine where is it and on which test do you have a higher starting score. Then look at the percentage of applicants who apply to your set of target schools and figure out what percentage submit a GMAT score versus what submit a GRE score. Certain schools, such as Berkeley, accept the GRE just as well as the GMAT, whereas certain others, such as Kellogg, have a clear preference for the GMAT based on the stats that they really show. Finally, compare the value of GMAT and the GRE after graduating. With answers to above questions, we invariably can arrive at the following conclusion. If you're looking for an MBA, the benefits of writing the GMAT outweigh those of writing the GRE, especially if your starting scores in one or the other, they're very, very similar. And when I say very similar, within 10 percentile points. If, on the other hand, you want to target a much more generic master's program, and if you'd like to keep your options open, you want to target a wide variety of schools beyond the business majors, then a GRE definitely gives you more options. With that, I want to thank you for watching. I hope this video helps you make an informed decision. If you have more questions, write to rajat@e-GMAT.com or put a comment below and we'll be happy to address that doubt. With that, as we always say, happy learning.